Well, howdy everybody. This is Owl on the go. Don't do many gear reviews, but I thought I'd do a gear review today on a couple of products that I received from another Hammock Forums member. His name's Marty. He's a great guy. He runs a company called Outdoor Wilderness Logics. Owl, go figure. So I had to buy his stuff when I saw it. I started looking for a decent down underquilt. I've got a Hennessy Explorer Deluxe, and I do use the Super Shelter. I've had great success with it, but I've also got other hammocks, like for my wife and for a couple of my sons. I wanted to have a down underquilt. I wanted to try that myself also, you know, when I go out camping in the winter. So I figured, hey, I'd get that. And since I was looking at that, I went ahead and talked to him, and I threw in a pair of what he calls his lazy slug tubes. So today, what I'd like to do is take a few minutes and show you what these lazy slug tubes are, and show you some of the specifics on the Outdoor Wilderness Logics full-length underquilt. So let's get started. This is what we're going to do. All right, guys. So what I'm going to do now is, this is my Hennessy, and I'm going to step over here. Hopefully you can see it. I have it currently strung up on a couple of turtle log stands, and I have it inside these lazy slug tubes. Now, what I think is pretty cool about these are that they're big enough to hold your hammock, your underquilt, your top quilt if you've got one. In my case, I've got my underquilt in here inside the hammock for now. I also have my poncho liner and a fleece bag that I use whenever I go out during summer or spring camping, which is what we've got right now. So all of that fits in here very nicely, fits nicely into my pack, and I'll probably get a chance to show you that later on. But what I think is pretty cool is these are made out of sil nylon. And the reason that's important is because sil nylon itself is waterproof. Now, I won't say that these are going to keep your hammock and down quilts and all that 100% dry in a devastating downpour by itself like this. But if you've got this up underneath your tarp, I can't imagine why you'd get anything wet. And I think it's kind of neat because if you look, and I'll bring you in closer here in a few minutes to show you the end caps, and I'll show you how this connects here. But he's got a bit of cinch cord here, or not cinch cord, but well, yeah, just cinch cord with a cord lock. What I like about pulling that down kind of closed like I've got it is, if you pay attention, you'll see it kind of comes up here, and then it comes up here. The reason that's important is because if you think about water running down, say you had your tarp up and you had it tubed up like a lot of us do when we go out, and then a downpour hits and you're surprised. Well, if rain starts coming down, what rain does land on this is just going to come down here. It's going to drip to its lowest point and drop. So it's not even going to run into your hammock or into your underquilts, even along there. So you should stay dry there. On the ends, he's also got some of that same cord lock, and it's kind of cool again. So you can close that off and minimize as much water as you can from coming in. So since I use whoopee slings, I've got this cord running down the tail of my whoopee sling. I don't have any reason to have any water coming into that hammock at all, really. So I really think these are great, and it looks like a way that it'll speed up the setup and the takedown when I go out and I go camping. So I'm really looking forward to actually using these out in when I go out on my next camping run. Let me go ahead and bring you in, and I'm going to show you a little bit of the specifics of what I was talking about. So what I wanted to show you here, and I hope you can see it, is how, again, there's this bevel right there. You've got the cord lock, you've got the cinch cord there, and of course this pretty cool tag, Owl. Gotta love it. Okay, so to me, I mean, I just love the way these are designed. You go up here and you take a look. Again, same kind of deal. You can pull that down, you can uncinch it. You can see these open up, so you can fit, quite. That's the shallow end. On the deep end, that actually opens up, I think he says, to 40 inches. So again, it's a very nice setup. Very happy and pleased with how these work. What I'm going to show you is what it looks like when you pull everything out. So very quickly, all you do is just undo a cord lock, slide it back. It's just like snake skins on steroids. Slide everything back, hammock drops down. And what's nice is you can take this, put that all the way up to the tree. Okay, I could even kind of bunch this up like this if I chose to, for example. Now I've got a big old drip loop there Nothing's coming into my hammock if we get some rain. Come down, do the same thing on this end. Okay. Launch everything up again. No way I'm getting anything down into my hammock. So I really love the way this is set up. Next thing I wanted to show you, and I have it tucked away in here, is my Outdoor Wilderness Logics full length down underquilt. Downy goodness, they call it. See, and I like this. I mean, again, it's the first one I've had. I've seen a number of down quilts. I've hosted a couple of hangs here in the Kansas City area, and some of the guys have some really nice stuff. And finally, I got a little bit of gear jealousy going there, and so I had to try it out myself. There's a couple of things I really like about this setup. One of the neat things for me is I have a Hennessy that I use a super shelter on, and the super shelter actually has you put a couple of hooks up on either end, one hook on either end, to connect the undercover and the underpad. Well, one of the neat things I found is I can come up and just connect the suspension just exactly as Marty gave it to me. I can hook it right there. Come down here, but jigger things around a little bit. I can come up here and attach it to that same hook. And as a matter of fact, I'll take a minute and I'll show you what that looks like. So what I think you can see there is what I've done is I've taken, this is the suspension for the underquilt. This is that mitten hook that you attach for the super shelter itself, and I just attached it right there. And I did the same thing up on the head end as well. And so what's kind of nice about that is it makes it real simple and easy. When I get ready to attach it to, like, my wife's hammock, for example, I've got some S-beaners. I'll throw those on, and it'll probably be just as simple and easy to do. And then you can come down on either end, and he has shock cord that you can pull tight to make sure you close the air gaps on either end. And we'll come down here. And again, most of you experienced hammockers, you guys know that if you're using an underquilt like this, typically once you adjust it one time, that's all you'll need to do. But there's a couple of really nice features that I'd like to point out about this, and I think it's standard on a lot of other underquilts, but it's standard on this one too, and I think it's great. One of which is he's got the channelized suspension, so you can just slide your underquilt up or down along the hammock to make sure that you get it exactly where you want it. I think that's great. I didn't realize that when I bought the underquilt, and once the first time I hung it and I saw that, I thought it was outstanding. So I was really pleased to see that. This particular underquilt comes with, I think, 14 ounces of 850 fill goose down. And in my case, I went ahead and had him throw an extra 2 ounces in there. So he rates his standard full length underquilt down to about 10 degrees. I've not yet tried this in the cold, but I'd have to guess with 2 extra ounces, I probably would be good down to 0. And especially when you take into account the kind of tarp I've got and everything else, I think it'd be pretty good. I'm hoping to get a chance to test that out this winter. So this is what it looks like. And like I said, I'm very, very pleased with how well it works. So there you go. I really do like the setup. I like the underquilt. The time I've tried it already, I found it was very warm. I'm a short guy, I'm 5'6". So it's nice because this thing will cover from beyond the tips of my toes to above my head. And you know, when you're laying in the hammock diagonally, that's great. I don't have to worry about an extra pad or anything else underneath me. It's got what I need right there. So that's what I like. I just thought I'd share that. Oh, so I'm pretty happy with that. There's one last trick I'm going to try, and it is try. Marty and I had talked about whether or not you could use this underquilt and how easy or difficult it would be to get in and out of it with the Hennessy bottom entry. I've not tried. I don't know. This particular Hennessy that I've got here, it has the bottom entry, but I sent it in for the 2Q ZQ Mod 4, which if you've got the money, folks, do it. Totally worth it. Just like Marty stuff, 2Q ZQ, great people to work with. They've done some custom work for me. They're excellent people to deal with. Marty out at Outdoor Wilderness Logics, dude is great. Marty, I enjoyed the phone calls with you. Okay, he's a man after my own heart. Drinks Mountain Dew on the trail. Okay, he's just a good guy. I've never met any of the cottage vendors so far that I had any kind of disappointment with. And my interactions, especially with 2QZQ and Outdoor Wilderness Logics, totally have been nothing but pleasant and wonderful. Love the gear I got back, and just enjoyed talking with all these folks. So anyway, kind of a tangent, but I thought I would try to zip this up and see what it would be like to get in and out through the bottom entry. So let's pause for a moment. We're going to give that an attempt. Here we go. I'm going to come over here. And looking at it, I mean, there's plenty of give. I think from what I would probably try to do would be to just, maybe even just go between, I think, yeah, there's probably more than enough cord there. We're going to give this a shot. I think I could just go into it like I would if I had the super shelter or anything else on. So let's kick these shoes off. Just like Mama don't like shoes in her house, Daddy don't like shoes in his hammock. So come over here. Now I'm going to offer the same words of caution that people offer everybody when dealing with their underquilts, and that is, first I think what I'm going to do is slide that back down there a little bit. So there you go, I'm in. And I'm going to reach down, I'm going to find this. There we go. And that is what I needed to figure out. There was something up there that was holding up. Hope you can still see me. So bottom entry, you can get in and out with an underquilt. So Marty, there you go. I hope that answers the question. You know, you were kind of wondering how that would work with an underquilt on a Hennessy. So it does work. It's probably not my favorite way. So folks, this is Owl. I hope you liked the kind of the gear review. I would completely recommend this particular underquilt. I have not tested its warmth, but just looking at the way this thing lofts up, good Lord, I'm looking forward to it. And I am completely pleased and happy with this purchase. So, you know, to steal from a friend of mine, 2 thumbs up. Okay, it was a great purchase. Working with Marty was outstanding. I got this back in record time, and I have nothing but good to say about my whole experience in getting this. And I'm totally looking forward to using this. So with that said, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm Owl, and I'm out of here.